Shout out to Cats Pod.
A good defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Bobcats? How you doing tonight? Seems like a great game. It's a great day to be a Bobcat. Eric, how you doing, brother?
Can you say stress-free? Because I can say stress-free.
I mean, you can barely say stress-free.
I mean,
and that's how stress-free this win was.
it's a bit of a tongue twister, but here we are saying stress-free.
I mean, it was big. I don't think anybody saw this type of win coming.
He didn't.
I didn't at all.
Not even a little bit. We're recording during the game. The fourth quarter right now, it is 38-0.
Yeah,
with
the game's not even over.
With the backups.
Yeah.
And below the backups. I mean, this is unbelievable, Ben.
The Cats are living up to the hype in every single way imaginable. Like, I know there's still going to be things that people are going to keep talking about after this game, and there's excuses that they're going to make, but I definitely feel like we are looking at the number one team in the country.
What is left? What kind of question marks are left for this team? This defense. I mean, the offense does what the offense does. They always have, but the defense is where the leaps and bounds have been made. The defense this year under a brand new defensive coordinator is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys, they don't bend. I mean, there is no bend in them. We have no stress-free or stressful times.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking against a top 10 team. These guys never let them get in the red zone. Not a single time until right now, and there is 52 seconds
left in the game.
Yeah.
So the defense, amazing. And also you brought up a good point. Under a new coordinator and everything, that must have made a huge difference for this team. The thing that is standing out to me is just how unstoppable this running game is. Because the big thing was they weren't considered the number one offense in the country, Idaho. Not by far. Nobody's calling them the best offense in the country.
No.
But they were calling them the best defensive line in the country.
Yep.
They are the best defensive line in the country, and the Cats ran all over them.
This whole game was touted as strength on strength.
Mm-hmm.
Idaho defensive line as the strength against the Montana State defensive line as the strength.
Mm-hmm.
And the Montana State offensive line ran roughshod over these guys. And unfortunately, we had Connor Moore go down, and hopefully that isn't anything serious. But I'm here to tell you, man, this was
even bigger.
This
We didn't have Connor Moore for 3 quarters.
You're exactly
and the
right.
Offensive line still looked dominant through the entire game.
Okay, Idaho did score a touchdown.
Yeah. They do get one garbage time touchdown.
Yep.
You're welcome, Jack Wagner.
Talkie about had that too, though. So
yeah, right there.
I think in this game, so the offense does what the offense does. They have, and we give them love every week. Well, I think it's time that we take a step back and we kind of give a little bit of love overall through the defense.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are unbelievable. I mean, obviously, we always give love to Danny Yu and Rylan Ort and Brody Greavy. I mean, those are the 3 guys we always give love to because they're always doing crazy good things.
Yep.
But this performance was Drew Polidor's return game. That guy, he comes back and has a couple of the most insane plays I've seen in the first half of this game.
Yeah. When the game was when it still felt like it could go either way. When it was actually a tight game.
Yeah, it's 14-0.
This might be something. Drew Polidor is coming in there off of the couch, basically. I know he's been working out, you know. I'm not saying that he hasn't been doing his work, but he just comes in and just reminds us of what Drew Polidor is.
Yeah, he's been hurt. He's been hurt, and he's finally worked his way back to being healthy enough to get on the field. And all he did was come out and make game
Couple
im-
huge plays.
game impacting decisions and plays.
Yeah,
Uh, obviously insanely impressive.
yeah,
Simeon Woodard,
all,
huge game,
yeah.
huge game. Rylan Ort, I mean, I don't need to beat a dead horse with Rylan Ort and Danny Yu and Brody Greeby. Those guys have huge games every single game. But I think I just honestly think it's time we give love to the whole defense.
Oh
Kenny
yeah.
Kenny Iden all over the field all the time. I mean, it's insane. I
This just the entire team as a whole, as a unit, the Cats look amazing right now. And I feel like we could just spend 45 minutes to an hour just saying that because the only tiny question marks we had going into this game, the only thing I heard any other fans
Oh,
bring
no,
up
the
was
only
the
the only
secondary.
question mark you had was if Brett Vegan could smile, and we saw that.
We did see Brett Vegan smile.
We did.
That was another small question mark, but not the one I was talking about. You know, good point, good point. But the only tiny little question mark we had was how well the secondary can play. And the secondary played some pretty amazing football. Jordan Dwyer is an elite wide receiver.
Yes.
Jordan Dwyer was a non-factor in this game. He was overthrown one time where he should have had a touchdown. But that was the single time I feel like he was actually open during this game.
And that was garbage. It was garbage time.
I mean, yeah, we were already up 31 points at that.
Yeah. And there it is. There is the final kneel down. The Bobcats win.
Yep. There's the handshakings. Everything's going good. And
There's some
this team is looking like the number one team in the country.
Are you seeing some BDE energy walking across?
Oh, Brett Vegan's got some BDE. Is that
He
what you're trying to tell me?
he's he's swinging some manliness across that field right now. And he
He's like,
knows it.
heck, you know what's up. I mean, you said this earlier in the game while we were watching it, and the Cats definitely made a point out of winning this game because of last year.
I really think so. I think there was some bad blood after last year's game. I mean, this was I, can you call that a perfect football game from the Cats? Did you see anything that annoyed you?
The only thing we missed was a 51-yard field
Yeah,
goal,
yeah,
which you
okay. Yep.
don't expect your kicker to make in the
Yeah,
FBS.
super fair.
If you make it, awesome.
Super
Jacked
fair.
up about it. But if you miss it, you're like, okay, whatever.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. That I mean, and at that point, we're grasping at straws,
Yeah.
really. I can't come up with anything that I wish would have gone better. I
We
really can't.
we just decided we were going to do the same thing that we've been doing against all these other schools all year. We've played not the toughest schedule, which is not the fault of the Cats. Stephen F. Austin backed out. You know,
Pussy.
beat New Mexico early on. All that they've done, all that we've done
Is
as Cats fans and Cats players, because it's definitely we, I guess,
yeah,
since I'm fully biased,
yeah.
is just win the games that are on the schedule.
So what you're saying is the games that we were favored to win, we beat the tar out of them? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
In the games
Oh,
where we were favored to be close, we also beat the tar out of
yeah. So it makes total sense that we beat Idaho by 31 points.
them. Even you
Makes
saying
sense.
that right now, it does not make sense to
It
me.
doesn't make
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, and it still happened.
I'm sitting here right now. Ben and I were at a bar with a sports bet earlier.
Yeah,
We went there to place bets. The point spread was -7.5.
yeah.
It was -111. I threw down on it.
and I feel like such a weak link for picking -4.5. I feel like a, I feel like I betrayed the Cats. I should have gone -27 or whatever the highest thing Montana Sports Bet
Well, let's put it
offered
this
on
way.
their garbage app.
Let's put it this way. -4.5. No problem.
No problem.
-7.5. No
No
problem.
problem.
-21.5.
No
No
problem.
problem. -30.5. No problem.
Welcome to Bobcat Stadium, Idaho. Welcome to Bobcat
Minus
Stadium.
30.5 was no problem. And we were at a 7.5 point spread. This is how bad we beat a top 10 team.
Yes.
I mean, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
This is huge. Like, I don't even know how to fully process this right now. That's how big it actually is.
A top 5 team in a lot of defensive metrics had no answer for the Bobcats. Tommy Malott looked incredible
Mm-hmm.
on, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Ben and I aren't going to pull up stats tonight.
No.
Don't really care about them.
He ran for 1 million yards.
A million.
That's how he ran. He ran for 1 million
A
yards.
million.
And he also passed for
A million.
million.
Also, I hope some people tailed me on the Tommy Malott 50 plus yards. That wasn't bad.
That hit
That wasn't bad.
very, very early.
One play.
Yep.
Usually we're saying one play Scott Trey.
This was a huge game because even the garbage bet that Montana Sports Bet puts up every single time of 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns for Tommy, that even hit. Montana Sports Bet, who guards their pockets like nobody in the
Oh, yeah.
world, lost some money tonight. I hope that people actually hit that bet because I've lost a lot of money on that bet and I chose not to hit it tonight, and I am forever kicking myself.
It hit tonight.
It hit
Boy, it
tonight.
hit tonight. And I think we coined a new nickname for Rohan Jones
Oh,
because Rohan Jones
mhm,
happens to find himself in the right place at the right time
a
every
lot,
single game.
a lot.
And so I think we're going to start calling Rohan automatic at this
Automatic
point.
Jones.
Yeah.
Automatic Jones.
It feels right.
Yeah. When you need a touchdown, it's automatic.
It is.
It's automatic.
He's
He's
just
right there.
we're having a lot of eye contact here.
I'm too happy. We're looking at each other too much.
Ah, man. So I mean, if we're going to go through this game from the beginning to the end,
Mhm,
what I felt like I saw was Tommy Malott feeling more comfortable than ever
mhm.
in that offense.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was making the perfect reads, whether he kept the ball or not. He took very few hits.
Yeah.
And the couple that he took one that, maybe looked like it might give him some bruising tomorrow or
Yeah.
something. But other than that, he was being extremely smart with the football. When he kept it, he was not taking damage. Did you see
No.
something different?
I didn't. There was the one play where the linebacker decided to pick him up, and then 3 other guys helped on the tackle, where I
Yeah,
was like, "Please, no. Please stop it." But also, during these games, I start to feel like I'm one of Tommy's parents. And that is a very disrespectful thing to say, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way at all. But I'm just sitting there like, "Run out of bounds, Tommy, please. Please run out of bounds right now."
you and my wife too. My wife was yelling halfway through the game, "Get out!"
We don't want you to get touched.
It was a lot higher
We
pitch than I can go, but it sounded kind of like
I
that.
feel I've got big mom energy when it comes to Tommy. Like, it is completely like he's tough as hell, and like I still feel the need to be like, okay, don't let anybody touch him, and it's stupid, you know. I can realize that.
I mean, all the way through, Tommy Malott played an incredible game
Hmm.
in the running game and passing game. He didn't make any stupid plays. He protected the football.
No,
I mean, what more can you ask from a kid?
yeah,
Seriously, what more?
there's there's nothing more. It was a cool moment seeing him take the Montana flag from his high school coach,
Absolutely.
and I'm really glad that he gets all these experiences because he is going to be he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats. It's already decided that he's one of the all-time great Bobcat quarterbacks. It's just whether or not he's going to be one of the all-time greats in the FCS. That's the only question I have.
100% agree.
That's the thing that he's searching for.
That's the last thing on Tommy Malotte's resume is an all-time in the FCS. That's it. That's what he lacks
Yeah.
because he has it in the Big Sky. Everybody fears Tommy Malotte in the Big Sky.
Yeah.
The last thing that he has to get is an all-time great in the FCS.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, this guy he is the best quarterback I've ever seen.
He's broken so
And
many records already, and the season's not even over.
I mean, I hate to gush over Tommy, but damn, man. I mean, how it's hard not to. Really.
It's very difficult.
He's the best Montana State quarterback I've ever seen. And I loved Denarius McGee. Loved him.
Yeah.
And Travis Lulay did things for us.
That we couldn't even imagine. But Travis Lulay never had any kind of team around him where he could make moves like Tommy does. Tommy has the perfect situation, and it's the perfect story. Where he starts out his career, transfer portal is early.
Yeah.
And we have a quarterback leaving the transfer portal, and everybody's like, okay, the Bobcats made the playoffs, but their season's over. And Tommy comes in and takes us to the championship game. He has some injury issues, but ultimately he just grows through everything, and he's strong through everything, and he just becomes the guy we're seeing on the field right now, which is a beautiful thing to see. Seeing that entire trajectory, that entire character arc go on is a beautiful thing to
Yeah.
see. And the team has grown around him too. Like
100%.
it's not just him. Everybody on that roster, there's a lot of guys that were on that early roster as well. And they have all grown together, and everybody is bought into this cat culture that we keep harping about. But it's just true. It is the truest thing I know about. It is the only thing I believe in these days is the cat culture.
100%, man. I'm here to tell you that I'm sure Tommy Malott doesn't listen to this podcast,
Yeah, he's too busy.
but if he did, we're so proud of what he's done for
Oh
us,
yeah.
like us as a fans.
Yeah.
Like honestly, he has changed the Bobcat program so much.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, enough gushing about Tommy. I mean, we do it
Yeah.
we do it almost every single week.
Yeah.
But
It keeps coming up.
let's go to Ty McCullough making
McCullough.
clutch catches
Yeah.
when he needs to. The leader, I mean, I know Tommy's a captain, but Ty McCullough is a leader on this team too.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he just happens to find himself in the perfect spot to make the perfect play,
Yeah.
and he makes the play.
And I know I go back to it all the time, but just making the decision to stay with the Cats.
Oh
When
yeah,
you are a premier wide receiver and you know you have a quarterback who most people think is just a running quarterback. When you're looking at a situation where everybody in the country is telling you, why would you stick around? You're playing with just like a Tim Tebow, but he knows that Tommy can throw the ball and he knows that he's going to get his opportunities. Like sticking with a team like that matters.
Ty McCullough embodies what the Bobcats are about.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate him picking us.
Oh yeah,
I mean, because that's what I mean. If we boil it all down,
yeah.
he chose to come to the Bobcats. He
Personally,
chose the Bobcat culture,
yeah,
and what he's done in his short time with the Bobcats
yeah.
has been nothing short of pretty goddamn impressive.
It is impressive, and he gets into the scheme in many different ways. Running the ball, passing the ball now, like it's been pretty intense. Almost as intense as we saw Mr. Brent Vegan on the sideline today.
I loved it.
We saw some spicy vegan today.
Yes.
And I never thought I would see it. I never thought anything would get him a little hot under the collar, but today it happened.
That was fantastic, man. I love seeing some emotion from our coach.
Oh yeah.
When he wants to lay it all down for his guys.
Yeah.
He knew what was right. We knew what was right.
Exactly.
And he went out there and he proved us right. Whether they wanted to call it the right way or not, I don't care.
Didn't matter.
But he went out there and he put it on the line.
Yep.
He knew what was at stake.
Oh yeah.
He could have got ejected,
Yep.
but he didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see that from our coach. Love it.
And I don't think we've ever seen that. I can't remember a single time where I saw him get a little bit ruffled. And it was spicy vegan.
I love
It was
spicy
like
vegan.
spicy vegan. It was like some like tofu wings.
Oh,
Some extra
tofu?
some tofu
Tofu?
wings with
No,
some
I'm
extra
done.
spicy
No,
sauce.
cancel
It
the
was spicy,
podcast.
it was
We're
spicy
done.
vegan.
Tofu. Keep in mind, Ben's on this podcast with a freaking rancher. We beef, fellas. We beef, all right?
I was
Tofu.
making a spicy vegan
Tofu.
joke, but okay, that apparently is not going to go down tonight.
Get out of here,
All
hippie
right,
boy.
okay, I'll see you later. See you later. See you sometime next year.
Anyway, back to things that matter. Danny, really hoping you're okay.
Yeah.
Ben did his shotgun for your turnover.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No.
He promised to do to turnover or the shotguns for turnovers, and we're hoping that shotgun does something to make you feel better. If it's, I mean, even a little, maybe.
Even slightly, if it makes you feel better at all. I was not even sure if we should do it, given the situation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, maybe he'll smile a little bit if
Yeah.
he sees some random ass 30-year-old dude take a shotgun.
That's what I was hoping, honestly. I was hoping that he might feel a little better. I mean, you promised on the podcast
I did
that
promise.
you would do a shotgun for turnovers.
Mhm.
You still owe 2 more now.
Okay, these numbers just keep going up.
My wife's sitting out here with us right now, too, right? There's 2 more turnovers. She's nodding her head, yes. Yeah. And
this was just a Gold Rush thing, and now it's turning into a full season thing.
Yeah, it's a
And
full
if
season
people
thing.
follow us on X and Instagram, I will keep doing it. But if the likes and the follows don't come behind it, I may quit.
How about this? If any Montana State Bobcat football player likes Ben's shotgun tweet from the Cats Pod Twitter,
Then Eric has to take a shot.
okay, but I was gonna go with we'll continue doing the Ben shotguns for turnovers.
I mean, it's all fun and games until you have to actually do it.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. I'm not as hard as you, brother.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, now you're gonna compliment me to try and make up for it. I see how this game goes. I've played this game. I've played this game a time or two.
Old
okay?
tofu boy
It's not my
needs some
first time. It's not my
shotguns.
first time. It was spicy. It was spicy vegan. Spicy vegan, bro. I
Oh,
like it.
no, it was all right. Let's get back to football. All right, we've
back to
been
football.
on a tangent now.
Back to football.
So we went through. We got to Ty McCullough. We went through Rohan being automatic.
Yeah.
How about we talk about Scotray turning 5 minimum?
Yeah. One play Scotray, one play gets you a first down. That's all you need. All you need is one play. First down Scotray was undefeated in this game. There was so many times, like early on in the game, where there was still a little bit of tension in the air. We were just like, okay, Scotray gets 14 here, he gets 12 here, and we were thinking about the best defensive line in the entire country.
Yeah,
We're just watching them get decimated by Scotray Humphrey and the offensive line of Montana State.
the number one DN
Number
in
one.
FCS.
Number
Number one.
one defensive end?
Number one.
He's the number one?
He was.
Well, he looked like number two tonight, let me tell you.
Brody probably got him tonight, but the number one defensive end in the country, he was a non-factor until late in the game. I think he got a couple sacks late, but it didn't. At that point, it was meaningless.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything
They
toward the
neutralized
game.
everything that Idaho was supposed to be good at. And
Our
they accentuated everything that the Bobcats are supposed to be great at.
and let's get to the unsung heroes, the offensive line. Talk about a bunch of studs all the way through the biggest game on the Cats' schedule, really.
Yeah. It's
A t-
turning into the toughest matchup they have in the regular season.
It kind of looks like it. The offensive line turned the defensive line that was so highly touted into a bunch of kittens. My wife could have tamed those boys.
Not looking over at her for approval. You know?
She didn't like that.
What about Cedric tonight? Cedric hopping in for Connor Moore.
Yeah.
It- Super tough to see him go down. I felt actual sadness when I saw him go down, and I never thought I would be that person that was caring that much about a football team, and I felt it tonight when he went down. And then Cedric comes in, and it felt like nothing really changed.
Yeah,
It felt like he was also very, very good.
we're feeling that one, and we're really hoping that it's nothing serious and that he just I mean, a guy like that, a tough son of a gun like that,
Yeah.
I'm a little worried
Mhm.
that it's something serious, but boy, do we really hope that it's not.
I mean, I was saying at the moment, I was like, Connor Moore would not be down like that unless it was serious.
Yeah.
Like, when you're a tough dude like that, you walk off the field right away if you can.
I mean, it looked like he was right away grabbing at his knee and didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. Yeah. But other than that, the offensive line was unbelievable tonight.
Oh, yeah.
They kept Tommy clean for the most
Yeah.
part. They opened up insane running lanes for the running backs.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Jones had a couple really nice ones in there too.
Yeah. He didn't hit my bets, but he ran pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we needed the yards, the offensive line was right there to get them for us.
Oh, yeah. It
I
was
mean,
awesome.
we go right back to the beginning of this podcast where I said, "What more do you want from a team?" Because I got nothing.
I can't ask for any more. Even like one of the highlights for me just watching this game was the guy I talk about all the time, Julius Davis.
Well, yeah,
Just every time somebody made a big play, Julius Davis was right there, and he was so jacked up for everybody.
dude, he's
And
jumping
he's
on the
such a
sidelines.
killer teammate that I can't like emphasize it enough how much guys like that impact a program.
You're 100% right. I can't imagine having that kind of support. Just somebody when you do something good, they're just right in your face, jumping up and down, telling you a heck of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
When you're talking about, I'll say like 75% of college football teams, there is so much jealousy and there is so much where are my stats going on. And when you see somebody like that that's so excited for their teammates, it's just like he can't even get into the game right now. And he's so jacked up for everybody, and that it just means the world to everybody.
I 100% agree with you, man. I feel like that's such an underrated thing, and we've talked about Bobcat culture for 2 years now. I mean, I feel like it's such a big deal
Oh yeah.
that's untalked about.
And it's the program is building within itself. Because you see Sean Chambers on the sideline, and I think that he
Yeah.
is going to be one hell of a coach someday. Wherever his coaching journey takes him, I think he's going to do some amazing things. I would love to see that be with Montana State. But we know the reality of being an FCS team. And if you have a truly
Yeah.
talented, smart individual, they usually don't stick around too long. But I would love to see him do amazing things for the Cats.
I mean, you're exactly right. We have Sean Chambers moving up within the program. We have Daly moving up within the program, and he has changed this defense.
So quickly.
And it's so I mean, the defense with mostly the same players has made such an incredible turnaround. All
Yeah.
of them. I mean, I'm right back where I started at the beginning of this podcast. What more can I ask from these guys? I mean, this was it.
Yeah.
This was the answer to my questions. Can they hold up against a good team? And not only can they can destroy a great team
Yeah.
because Idaho is a very good team. I mean, we're talking about a team that held Oregon, who won today over Ohio State.
Yeah.
To 24 points, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think it was 24. They beat FBS Wyoming,
Yeah.
then went through, a bit of back and forth within the FCS with their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And they come in and they started their third string quarterback, which he made it 2 drives, 1,
Yeah.
and they put in the second string quarterback,
Yeah.
the one that won the game in Wyoming.
Yeah.
A very, very talented quarterback, and it did not matter.
No.
It doesn't matter who you start against the Cats. They got you.
They're going to get after it. And
It's a balanced team.
I have to ask this question because you brought it up. Does it mean that the Cats are better than Oregon?
Put them against Texas.
Put them in.
Horns down,
Put them
baby.
against Texas.
Horns down.
We're going FBS. We don't care about the FCS anymore.
Horns down.
We're going in.
Also, I just want to give a shout out to Miles Sandstead. He missed a super long field goal early and bounced right back.
Oh, yeah.
That deserves some props. He didn't let that affect him. 51 is tough in the
And
NFL.
he was very close to hitting that 51-yarder.
Yes, he was.
It was right there.
51 is tough in the NFL. And he did not let that phase him. And he bounced immediately back and did exactly what he was supposed to. That deserves some kudos, in my opinion.
I fully agree.
And it's something I love Brennan Hall. Love him to death. But that's something we've been lacking in the last couple of years, and it is really nice to see Sandstead come in here and have a pretty dang level head.
Especially when he walked in and like Casey Kautzman was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah.
And Casey gets hurt, which is out of control of everybody. And Sandstead walks in as he's a freshman, correct?
Yeah.
He's a young dude. And he comes in and he was put into a very difficult spot. And the amount
100%.
of confidence that Vegan has in him gives me confidence in him. Spicy Vegan, we give you confidence no matter what.
Miles Sandstead is a sophomore.
Oh, he's a sophomore.
Yes.
I apologize.
Sophomore.
I apologize.
But either way, this guy comes in. He obviously has. I mean, I shouldn't age myself by talking about Disney movies, but I do have 2 kids, and
Yeah.
he has the memory of a goldfish.
He does.
It's very fast.
Yeah.
He misses a 51-yarder and comes right back and nails it, just like we want him to.
It's what you got to be as a kicker. It's what you have to do.
And here we are again, asking what more do we want from this team? Because I got nothing.
I think a lot
I'm
of the
happy.
a lot of the questions are answered. We're halfway through the season. We have to remember that. the major thing is going to come in the playoffs. And I just don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it looks really, really good right now. I have never been this confident as a Bobcat fan due to our
I know.
history. And I almost want to check myself all the time, but it feels we feel as strong as like SDSU.
I
Where it always feels like we're gonna run into some kind of buzzsaw in the playoffs. It feels like we are that buzzsaw.
Let me put it this way. So we've had a couple really good teams the last couple years. I don't want to discount anything that they've done,
Mhm.
but I feel like our defense is as good as 2021, if not better.
Fully agree.
But our offense is better. There isn't a doubt.
No.
Our offensive line is better. Our receivers are, I mean, it's hard to say they're better, but they are as good, if not better. Don't want to throw any shade to Lance McCutcheon and Willie P
Yeah.
because love those guys.
There's been some staff dudes on this team.
Our running back room is, and once again, hate to throw shade, but they are so incredible this year.
I don't think it
I
throws
mean,
any shade.
we're
The
talking
juice squad is different.
we're talking about 22 versus the old 22.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
You were saying
Afonso,
tonight how much Scottrade looks like Afonso.
I know. And, I was kind of surprised that they didn't give 22, the number 22, a little bit of a break until Scottrade decided to be a world beater
Yeah.
and make use of 22.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the most natural nicknames of all time.
One play
One play
Scottrade.
Scottrade.
Yep.
As we were just yelling during that overtime, and I was like, one play, and we had scored a touchdown, and I was like, Scottrade. It just happened, and it fit, and it was beautiful.
I'm just here to say the Bobcats made a statement tonight that they are a team to be feared, like
Yeah.
actually feared.
Oh yeah. I think we definitely deserve to be in that top three. Don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh, they're already in the
I
top
mean, the
three.
top two. My bad.
Top two, I don't think it'll happen either,
Mhm.
but they do deserve it.
It is very deserved.
And it doesn't matter because the top two play each other. The Dakota marker happens in a couple or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, I
soon.
think.
Pretty soon.
Dakota marker happens in a couple weeks, and we'll find our rightful spot. We have Portland State in Eastern Washington
Yeah.
before we go on a pretty good gauntlet of Sac State, UC Davis, and Montana.
Yeah.
And Montana is some great.
I mean, they play one half of football. So we only have to stop them for one half. We just have to decide which half that is to stop them in.
And the Big Sky refs love them. So,
They do. They do be loving them.
yeah,
All righty. Should we wrap this thing up?
I
Put a
think
bow
so.
on it?
I think so.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this at. And follow us on Instagram and X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you to all the players who just played a spectacular game today. We will see you on Wednesday as we get ready for the game against Portland State.
Adios.